Well, man, I'm Eddie from Food and Cosplay, and you're about to listen to my podcast, like? Okay, that's a lie. It's not really Eddie. It's CJ, and I'm usually on his podcast, and I'm here to tell you that you're about to listen to some views and comments from the hosts and guests, but that reflects their views. Now, this is a great podcast. I'm one of the only listeners, and now you've joined me. And the best part is, the banter section is about to start. Take it away, Eddie. It's going to be great.
Hello everybody, Eddie here, and we're still doing these podcast extra highlight podcasts? Reels? No, that's Instagram things. Anyway, we're on volume 5 now. I hope you've been enjoying these podcast extra highlights, and I'm going to continue because it's holiday season and I'm going to take a break from a lot of things. And yeah, so no further ado, I will introduce you that the first part of the podcast is with Bethan of What's Her Name Cosplay and Matthew of Journey to the Layer. In that podcast we were talking about theatre cosplays and we just carried on talking about it, such as like future theatre shows we'd like to see and their favourite cosplay, theatre related cosplays. Next one is Jemzamir and Kitty Cosplay from the My Favourite Cosplay Photo Volume 3. We discuss about what Eddie, I know talking in third person, would like to shoot in the future, and we'll also briefly talk about generative AI. And in the third bit, we talk with, should I say, with Lele Cosplay and Sib from Shield Photography, and we just this was from the What Not to Say. You shouldn't say that. Oh, don't say that. That type of podcast. We would then flip on its head by saying, "Oh, what should you say to cosplayers and maybe photographers? What positive things? What we would really like to hear." So, no further ado, I'm going to hit the music, and then you're going to hear those podcasts. So, bye, guys. Anyway, just to say, if you have, for some reason, if you're not listening to the main podcast yet, I've got Bethan, I've got Mike. I was going to say Michael, not Matthew.
What the fuck?
Oh my god!
Eddie,
not Michael.
Are you having a stroke?
I probably am. Oh, jeez. It's the chloroform that I'm giving myself. It's so good. It's really good. I just love the smell of chloroform. Really puts you out for a while. Just to say, kids, I don't have chloroform. I'm not chloroform myself. It's not a thing I'm doing.
It's a kink.
It's not a kink. Oh God, can you imagine if that's a kink? Anyway,
It probably is.
That probably is. Yeah. Can you imagine going to the NHS going, can I have a bottle of chloroform, please? It's not for kidnapping. It's for self-administration. What?
That's what we call it now.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, what we'll say. So, I've got. Let me start again properly. So, I've got Bethan from What's Cosplay, and I've got Matthew from Journey to the Layer.
We finally got there.
Yeah,
we got.
Do you know what?
Kids. He's a professional.
I am a professional. No, because I'll tell you something. When I first got introduced to Matthew, I kept calling him Matt. And then he's only now corrected me by saying, "By the way, I'm a Matthew." I went, okay, gotcha. And I have been good.
And then you called him a Michael.
Oh,
Michael. Yeah.
And I do this. I did this. All right. So I was on a friend's podcast. They do Formula One, and part of his format, he says, "Oh, we'll read the comments from Facebook from the group about the race," and I could see the name Michael, but for some reason my brain went Richard. And it's not even the same letters. I don't know why my brain went, yeah, that's a Richard. Don't bother reading it. You can see the letters there. That's close enough. Richard. And I'm like, and then the hosts went, where the hell are you getting the word Richard from? His name is Michael. I'm going, oh my God. I've been called out. I've been called out for not able to read. That's literally my thing. So, yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about my shortcomings.
Yeah, we don't have that long.
Yeah, I only got half an hour. Really don't have that much time. Anyway, we're going to be talking about theatre still. So the main podcast was about theatre cosplays and if it's a viable thing to do, if it's still something to do. And I'm sure we came out was yes, because if you like it, you just do it. A lot of things about my podcast, it's like if you like it, just do it. Fuck off. Just fucking do it. Just don't worry about what other people think. But it's nice to still talk about it and just let people know that what other people might be thinking. Oh yeah, I could do that. Oh yeah, that's fine. Anyway, so we're just doing that. So
Eddie's having a stroke.
I really am. I'm having one of those moments. Yeah, definitely having. Stop saying I'm going to have a stroke, okay?
He's having a senior moment.
Better. Actually, should we mention about some of the technical issues we've had, Bethan? Since you're picking them.
I am literally just sitting here. It's not my fault it keeps crapping out.
Okay, so when I contacted Matthew, I said, "Oh, do you have a laptop?" He goes, "No, but I've got an iPhone." I went, "Good. There is an app for that now, which we can use." Then he turns up today with a laptop, so I don't know if he's stolen that off someone or not.
The reason is I wasn't sure whether this was just going to be an audio podcast or whether you were going to be filming it as well. And the camera on my laptop, I didn't think was very good, but I've managed to kind of get it all working and the camera was fine. So it was just in case it was going to be video as well as audio, which was I was going to go with the phone. But as it's just audio, I'm on my laptop and it's fine.
Trust me, no one wants to see this hot mess that I am at the moment. So yeah.
I was going to say, I'm literally sat here with wet hair and a towel around my shoulders, as well as clothes. So like, we don't need the visuals.
And then like Bethan comes in with her laptop and is going, "Oh my god, technical issues here and there." And I'm going, "Dude, what are you doing?" And then she goes, "Can I do this over phone?" Yes, you can.
But you never be able to use it because I've been doing podcasts with you for a couple of years now, and it was never on an app; it was always on laptop. And do you remember that was when I had a laptop that would literally take 40 minutes to boot up?
Oh, 100%. Those are the good old days. No, the bad old days. No.
That wasn't a good time for anyone involved.
But no, when they brought this phone app about, I think 4 weeks ago, I'm like, okay, excellent. This really limited to me how many people I could have on the podcast. The amount of people said, "Do you have a laptop?" And they go, "No." I'm like, what? It's the 21st century. How do you not have a laptop?
But you don't need laptops anymore because everything is on your phone. Yeah, if you're a photographer, yeah. Like if you do a lot of computer-based shit, yeah. But I mean, I literally use my laptop these days for like watching videos while I sew.
Jesus Christ. Talk about throwing a dagger into my heart. Oh. Anyway, we're not, well, that's the technical issues we've been having all day. So hopefully the main podcast sounds okay. I've got some tricks I can fiddle. That's not about fiddle.
Eddie likes to fiddle.
No! Shh!
Poor Matthew. I just dragged him into this and he wasn't sure what he was letting himself in for.
To be fair, Matthew knows you, so therefore he probably had some idea.
That's true.
And good luck editing this.
Oh, I know. No, unfortunately, it'll just be cut the beginning bit, cut the end bit, that'll be it. I won't do much editing in between. Unless I do a major screw up. But anyway, let's continue the conversation about theatre stuff. And we never really mentioned, because we kept referring Matthew to your, I was going to say Lord of the Rings. Why did I think of Lord of the Rings? Your Phantom of the Opera.
He does do Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I did a Nazgul cosplay for Comic-Con, which I will never be wearing again.
Was it a bit too warm?
It was the amount of layers of black fabric that I had on. Also, the gauntlets. I had really spiked gauntlets, a huge broadsword, a dagger, and then I'd made this headdress, which is obviously the Nazgul of Faceless. So it had all this black fabric hanging over my face. And the minute I put it all on at MCM, and then this was a mistake. I could not see where I was going. It was ridiculously hot. Luckily, my other half was dressed as Cable from X-Men, so he was blue and yellow. So as long as he was no more than 5 paces away from me in front, I could see this blue and yellow blur in front of me, and I could see him. But I had the hump all day long because I was so hot. I was uncomfortable. I was miserable. And I even threw the whole headdress part of it. I threw it into the bin on the way home. I was so angry and so pissed off. So I have done Lord of the Rings, but it won't be happening again anytime soon.
Oh, dear me. No, I was good. So, mistakenly, I keep saying Lord of the Rings. So, I kept saying Matthew with the Phantom of the Opera, Bethan with Anne Boleyn from 6. But are those your favourite like theatre cosplays, or is it other ones that you've worn that you've gone, that's my favourite? Or if there's not one you can think for yourself, is there one you've seen from others you've gone, that's amazing, I need to know who that person is and and just talk about their costume.
For me, like I know Matthew's got a very different answer. For me, like I don't know if Berlin is absolutely like my favorite. It's definitely like I love it, and it's given me like a lot of opportunities, and if you're being shallow, it's given me like a lot of new like followers online. But then it's also gotten to the point is like because people follow me for that and expect me to post that. If I post anything else, and I'm on like a big Disney kick and making a lot of Disney stuff right now, it gets like far less like interaction and comments, and I'm like, I do make other things, you're allowed to like them. But I always greatly admire, and like I greatly admire like Phantom cosplayers, so like seeing Matthew in Red Death and all the other really opulent costumes from that show. Anytime I see a cosplayer from it, I'm like, oh holy shit, you're doing like this, it looks so cool. But then also Phantom's not my favourite show. I don't know what is my favourite show right now, to be honest. Yeah, boot me off. Hey, like this is where like there's a ongoing rivalry between Phantom fans and Les Mis fans from Musical Con. And this is where I probably fall on the Les Mis side of things, purely because they're the one paying my bills right now. Not the teenagers, the actual show.
I'm not judging. I'm not saying anything. All right, call child services. What about you, Matthew?
Yeah, no, Phantom is my number one. I think there's very. We were looking for other costumes to possibly do for Musical Con, especially for my other half, and it's a struggle to find anything in other shows that are as opulent, especially for the male characters. Frozen, Alpha and Linda have got slightly more elaborate clothing, but no offense to Les Mis, but they're a little bit drab.
They're quite plain, but I think the whole idea is that they're meant to be miserable, so they're not meant to look nice.
I don't find them as exciting. So we started looking some of the Disney musicals to try and find costumes there. I'd love to do a Jafar from Aladdin.
Yeah.
But I can't convince my other half to be Iago. He won't dress up as a parrot. So yeah, it's hard, but Phantom is definitely my number one for costumes.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to know. I just want to make sure that I wasn't projecting something which you've gone. He talks about Phantom a lot, and but that's not even my favourite. We should just move on. Jesus Christ!
Other shows are available.
As you are both theatre kids, shall we say? You're theatre kids, and I will admit I've only recently got into theatre because of the workplace I'm at. So as I said, I work at an international school, and part of it, there is a theatre section, and we do actually buy tickets to theatre shows and things like that. A lot of it's about, I would say, like emotional driven shows type of thing, but like the actual stage shows, theatres like going to see Six, Macbeth, those type of theatres. We do them every so often, and I've only recently seen Six, but I'll go first on this one actually, because since Beth thinks I talk a lot. So I was going to ask, what's your favourite theatre you've attended so far? As much as I really enjoyed Six, there's something about Six that doesn't say to me, if coming out of it thinking, oh, what a great theatre show, because it's not a theatre. I don't think it's a theatre show. It's it's more of a concert than anything else.
Yeah.
But I did love it. I will admit that. I think probably one of my favourite theatre show, although I can't remember, but I just remember being really blown away by it when I walked out, was Wicked. I think that was such a beautiful, beautiful show from what I remember. But like I say, if you ask me what happened, I couldn't tell you one little bit. No, because it happened at least a decade ago, if not longer. So I went to see it with my then girlfriend at the time. So she dragged me to it, but I really enjoy it. The others I've seen is like Rock of Ages. That was with a friend. What else have I seen? I haven't seen like Les Mis. I don't know if I would enjoy Les Mis.
It's one of those, and definitely like when I was more in my 20s and more into like musicals, I made a point of like when there was like a theatre ticket sale on, I went to see Les Mis and Phantom because I'm like, oh, they're the classics and I'll tick them off. And it's funny, like I got stall seats for Les Mis, but my view wasn't great because the seats were kind of lined up right behind each other.
Hmm.
And I remember kind of going, well, okay, I've seen that. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now working on it, seeing it every night, it has grown on me, to be fair. But I don't know. If only you knew someone working there who might be able to get you discounted tickets. I don't know. just not on weekends or half term, which rules out when most people can come.
I work in the central London, so I could just go straight after work.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll alert security.
What? What was that? What was that last comment?
Oh, I can. Oh no, the audio cut out. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ! But no, like it's like everyone went mad for Hamilton, and I just went, okay. But I from what I saw, I went, all right. But it did not interest me one little bit.
I haven't seen it.
It's on Disney Plus, so I could watch it there just to get a feel for it. But I think it's because I don't know the American histories. I think it doesn't interest me at all. So yeah.
So for me, it's the style of the song. I don't like that singy, fast, rappy type of song that Lin-Manuel Miranda writes. It's just not for me. So that and In the Heights or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I just find his songs. He's got his own unique style, and it's the same. You know, the songs he wrote in Mary Poppins. They all just sound the same, and it's just not for me. So it's why I've just not even bothered watching Hamilton because I just know I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah, you know, I totally understand.
Hamilton for me was. I'm
start
cutting.
with this one. I'll give. Bethan, do you want to go?
What about Hamilton?
No, favorite theatre show.
Because oh god, this is really difficult because I've got various shows that were favourites at various points in my life. So I will always have a soft spot for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when it was originally on the West End because I enjoyed it because it was really close to the book and it was at Theatre Royal Drury Lane, which is enormous, and it was very much set up like a cinematic feel. The sets were absolutely incredible. So I'll always have a soft spot for that. But it's weird because like there's some I would have like considered my favourite for quite a while, and then like with Hamilton I worked on it and it's not my favourite anymore. Not the show's fault, it was mostly just the experience I had like working there. What the hell else? I mean, like We Will Rock You was one of my early favourites. That was one that really got me as a teenager into musical theatre. Is it particularly amazingly well written and all that sort of shit? No, but it was a nice like entryway in. I do really enjoy Six, but again, like that is technically like more of a concert. It's weirdly hard for me to pinpoint one exact favourite because, like I said, I've got ones I look at and I'm like, they were a favourite at a certain point in my life. That was then like not a gateway, fucking hell, like a monument, like a landmark type of moment in my life where I can look at what happened there and be like, yeah, this show was there for that. I don't know. My answers are long and weird, and I am short and weird. So
yes, you are weird, very weird.
Thank you,
Matthew. No, anytime, Matthew. What about you?
So aside from the obvious one, Six is up on my list as well. Again, yes, more concert than show. Recently, I went to see Mincemeat.
I've heard good things about that.
It's hilarious. It was so good. We're going again in 2 weeks' time. It's extremely funny, and the songs are very clever and funny. But I also tend to like the old like 80s like big musicals like Miss Saigon. I adore. I loved Starlight Express. So I'm quite looking forward to that coming back to see what it looks like and what they do with it. And obviously Phantom goes back to the 80s. Yeah, I tend to like the big old style musicals.
That's interesting. That's really. I think I remember like hearing about the Andrew Lloyd Webber shows such as like Starlight Express, Joe's Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm sure there's more. Chess.
Yeah. Cats. Sunset Boulevard, which is doing the rounds again.
Oh god, yeah.
Apparently the new version of Sunset Boulevard, the way they've done it technically, is very, very impressive. Like it's a whole new take on it, which I know is not very, because I know Sunset Boulevard is meant to be quite opulent, and I think it's very it's more stripped back. But from people I know that have seen it, have said like, "Oh, this is incredible."
No, that's cool. What about cosplays? Not cosplay. Why am I talking about cosplay? I mean, I know it's a cosplay podcast, but that's not the question I've got on my list. What about future theatre shows? It doesn't have to be musical. I just realised I keep saying the word theatre, and I mean like broad strokes theatre. Because I remember seeing the show That Goes Wrong, and I love that show so much. I've been wanting to see that for years, and I love that show. But there's a couple of shows that I've booked myself to go and see, which is I don't know if I want to include concerts on this one. No, I won't include concerts. The concerts, if people were just wondering, I'm going to see the Into the Spider-Verse concert. That I think that's going to blow my mind. I haven't booked tickets for this one yet, but I want to see the Batman one. That's Batman Tim Burton film for me is my childhood right there. That what's got me into superhero films, superhero themselves, DC, and everything about it. I know Marvel's it's on a rise, and that's probably a lot better than DC. That's fine. I like Marvel as well. I can like both, but for me, Batman is just yes. Anyway, the theatre for me that I'm really looking forward to are both from Studio Ghibli. So I'm going to see my neighbor Totoro through work, and through friends, I'm going to see Spirited Away in April next year, and I can't wait for both because I've never seen my neighbor Totoro. So, but I'm kind of seeing it with my sister. She loves that. She loves it. Every time I went to Comic-Con, I used to buy Totoro stuff, and she would love it. But she has gone, okay, stop buying me stuff now. Because I used to crash at her place when I was coming into London. But she goes, I've got no space for this. Please stop buying me things. I'm like, okay, totally get it. But Spirited Away is just one of my favourite Studio Ghibli films. It's just, I can't explain it. I just remember sitting in the cinema being amazed by the artwork, amazed by the storyline, amazed by the message behind it. And I watched it the dub version, but the voice actors for them was just beautiful. I just loved every moment. So I'm just hoping it would just invoke that same excitement that I had for that film in the stage show for Spirited Away. I let Bethan go first. I'm going to let. I almost said Michael again. Jesus Christ! Matthew, what future shows? I know you said you're going to see something again in 2 weeks' time, but let's put that one to one side. Any future shows that you haven't seen, you're looking forward to either booking in the future or you have booked and you just can't wait?
No, the only thing that I know is going to be coming next year is the reader of Starlight Express, which I will definitely go and see it. When I saw that so many years ago at the at the Palace in Victoria when it was there. So yeah, I will go and see that when it comes on again. But yeah, there's nothing else really on my radar at the minute to go and see.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. What about you, Bethan?
Kind of similar. There's not a lot on my radar at the moment that I want to see. I think Hades Town, when that opens, I've heard a lot about. There's a lot of hype around that, so I'll probably go see that because I know I've got a lot of friends into it, and really into like the soundtrack and the characters, and I feel like it's almost a point of shame that I've not listened to it yet. I think also Starlight Express, because that I'm really curious about. I never saw that the first time around. Not sure what else really. Like working another show makes it really difficult to go see other ones, but I probably want to go see Six again at some point, but I'm not in a rush right now. I've seen it in a theatre. I saw it when it was at the Lyric, and then I saw it at Hampton Court Palace when they did it there, and that was fantastic, having it in the correct venue almost in Henry's house. That was fantastic, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, nothing like immediately on the list, but I'm sure something will crop up.
I will admit, if I got the chance to see Six again, if I had to pay for it or not, I'd go again. I would enjoy it. I remember coming out of the theatre just playing that soundtrack on repeat because there are some really catchy tunes in it.
Yeah, it's funny because like my boyfriend's not into theatre at all, and the first thing I took him to was Six at Hampton Court Palace, where he was very like, this is not my thing. This is like pop music's not my thing. But he went for me, which is nice. And then we went to see Frozen at Drury Lane, and I kind of picked that one because I'm like, you'll know the story already, so it'll be interesting for him to see how it's taken from film to stage. And to be fair, he did really enjoy it. And even like the kids in the audience weren't as annoying as we were expecting. And then I knew one of the guys working there on the stage side. So afterwards he took us like on stage for a backstage tour, and we saw like all the set and the props and stuff. So that was really interesting as well. But see what else I can kind of convince him to come to. I think if it's something he kind of knows the material of, or like, you know, like Lion King or something like that, but I don't know how often I can sit through Disney musicals. They're a whole beast.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I've got to be in a certain mood to go see certain station. Like, I've heard so many good things about Six. I just went, oh, I didn't know much about it. So if someone told me, oh, it's more of a concert than actually a stage show, we go, oh, okay, that's cool. That's nice to know. It's like when I watched the Les Mis film with I was gonna say Jared Butler. God, I'm mixing so many people's names today.
Hugh Jackman.
No, well, yes, he's in it, but I'm talking about
Russell Crowe.
Russell's Crowe singing. Oh my god, it's as good as Pierce Brosnan from Mamma Mia.
I would rather listen to Pierce Brosnan, but it's hilarious because I think it was like last Saturday, and in the interval, I heard a bunch of audience members go, and they were American, going, "Oh my god, this is so much better than the film. Like Javert is so much better than Russell Crowe is." But they decided that Anne Hathaway was a better actor, and we had Lucy Jones in at that point. Can I say who's like a fairly big theatre name? But Lucy Jones was a better singer, and I was just there like, no comment.
Oh dear Lord. I was going to say, like no one told me the whole film was in song, so I'm
it's a sung through.
Yeah, so I don't know if the theatre show is the same. So there I'm sitting.
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
So the same for like Les Mis, Phantom, and Hamilton are all sung through.
Okay, yeah. These are the type of things I need to be shown. I just need to be just to be told about, so that I can just prepare myself. Because I did halfway with my then girlfriend. I did top on her shoulder going, "Is this all in song, or is there anything in dialogue?" She goes, "No, it's all singing." I went, "Okay, good. Cool. I really got to concentrate because I find it hard to listen to the lyrics as words and then follow the storyline, because sometimes I'm just hearing like the melody and the rhythm and all that. And go, cool, yeah. Wait, there's a message behind it. Shit, I need to follow. Fuck. So,
there's actually a storyline in those songs.
Yeah. Oh no! Quick, take notes. So I'm just like, thank God the film version, because there's more visuals. I can catch what's going on from certain times. So yeah.
What about you? Is there like a cosplayer that you really want to work with?
Oh, there's plenty. But I.
And you can say, you don't have to say me. It's fine. Like,
How'd you get your head out that door? Just say.
Yeah.
No, I was just looking at odd shaped octopus. I didn't realise I was following this person. They got very nice, clean work. So yes, I think generally, on a general level, I'd like to work with more male cosplayers. Actually, I think they don't get much of a shout out, and part of it's my own fault as well. I don't. With my primitive brain, I always go opposite sex, go shoot with the opposite gender, blah, like that. So I really need to get out of my own head about that. But if we're talking about like, thing is, I wouldn't want to desperately shoot with like people like Yaya Han, Jessica Negri. The only big name I would love to shoot on a regular basis is Stella Chu. Just trying to think if there's anyone else in the UK scene. There's not many people in the UK scene I would. I mean, Candy Valentina comes to mind. And
oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. Yeah. I'm just happy to shoot with anyone. I just feel like
Okay. What about a character? Like, is there a specific character you really want to photograph?
That's hard because I think it changes from season to season. So at the moment, who was it? I think I'm still in my cyberpunk like phase, so I would love to shoot anyone from cyberpunk, either like an OG character they made up, or from the Edge Runner. What else?
So it's not Squirrel Girl then.
No, not Squirrel Girl. I'll tell you what, there was one character that I would love to shoot that I was talking to a cosplayer years and years ago, but I don't know if they still want to do it. Is so it's an anime show, or it was actually started as a manga, but it's an anime called Gangst, Gantz, and I love the aesthetic look of it. There was a Netflix anime one-off show that I watched. Again, it's the dark noir, not dark noir, but dark cyberpunk-esque look. Japan type of look and things like that. That'd be really talk about that. The other one, I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to the Control Cosplay podcast that Lydia and Siobhan Shill Photography run, and they're talking about doing a Ghost in the Shell shoot in Hong Kong, and I went, yeah, that's been on my list for a long time as well. I wish I could do that. So it's things like that comes to mind. So yeah. But yeah. But thank you for putting me on the spot for a little bit. That was awkward. Very quick and very briefly. We're talking about. I was talking about generative AI in the main podcast, and I've talked about it once on the podcast, and I want to get. I might do another long take on this, but have you heard of generative AI? What's your thoughts about it? What's your quick thoughts about generative AI?
The way you use it in photography is fine because you use it for mainly removal of crowds and backgrounds and stuff like that, which is it's perfectly fine, and I think it's what we all really want. What I really find iffy about AI is when it's creating the main subject of whatever, or it's a photo or art piece or whatever. That's where I find it a bit iffy because it's just all the creativity has gone out the window, and then also the fact that it's stealing references and stuff from whatever it finds on the internet. I find that quite troubling, and that's why actors are on strike right now because they're fighting against their bodies being copied or their voices being copied without them getting paid for it. So yeah, it's a really tricky fine line. I think, as you've said previously, it should be used just as a helpful tool to enhance things. It shouldn't be used to completely replace creative processes.
That's interesting. Kitty, what about yourself?
I totally agree that it's okay as an aid. It's not okay as a focus. It's inevitable that AI is going to slowly take over a lot of the world. But as long as it's used as an aid and not the thing, it's fine. It was introduced wrongly, as Jems pointed out, it was used without the permission of a lot of artists. It took a lot of their stuff, and that's how it's learned how to do what it does now, and that was wrong. And they should have done it correctly, but they wanted a speed on it, and now it's just a big mess. I think it's inevitable, but I really don't like seeing it used. And on TikTok at the moment, there's a weird trend where there's a girl dancing and she's using AI to replace her, and it's just a lot of images, but it looks really cool, but it's AI, and it's really hard to go, well, I don't know how much work you've actually put into that, or if you've just told AI to do that for you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But as long as it's an aid, I think it's fine. It's inevitable, and we're gonna have to get used to it. Yeah. But when people are claiming that AI generated thing that they've just made is their own, then there's a problem.
Oh, God,
I think if you're going to use AI in a photo or in a video, I feel like in the description, much like when you have to work as an influencer, when you put this is an ad, this is a gifted, there should be a thing saying there is AI in this photo, and then it's just it's announced then, and it's that's what I kind of think. It's inevitable. It's coming. It's here.
Yeah.
It ain't going nowhere. It's stealing your stuff and your children and your life and your job and your dog and your everything.
The only reason I brought it, and I think I will, like I said, I will do another podcast on generative AI about it. But there's something. So I've just pre-ordered. So by the time this come out, I've already got it in my hand. But I bought myself the new Pixel 8 phone, and one of the features of that phone is that if you've got a succession of photos, like say you take 8 photos, and everyone in those photos, everyone's blinking, different people are blinking. Let's say you got 4 people, and they're all blinking at different points. No one's got their eyes open. The phone will know which group of photos are the same, pick the faces out, and then you can merge the different faces from each of those photos into one, and you can pick which faces it is. So,
Yeah.
and I've heard a lot of tech analysis are saying, "Oh my god, what is the meaning of a photo anymore now? If you can do this," I'm like,
Man, they need to get off their high horse and just...
no, but I get where they're coming from. It's like, what is a photo anymore? And I'm like sitting there thinking, that's a really good question. What is a photo? Because obviously, me as a photographer, you as cosplayers, we're kind of half used to this photo manipulation anyway, because we see it every day when we look through, scrolling through photos. Go, oh, we can see that. Well, you've made an assumption probably in your head that said, oh, that's probably there's some manipulation going on it somehow, either in the background or on the model. Look, it's up to the model themselves if they want to do it that way or not. But yeah, I just, like I said, sometimes I want to have a longer conversation about generative AI. About, would you be happy knowing that you now seen, if you go to Comic-Con, no, let me rephrase the question. Would you be happy to see a photo now, knowing that generative AI is more inbuilt into literal phones, that the best version of that photo can be edited on the fly and posted, and your perception of that world is even now more is more of a dysmorphia, if you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I am, because I feel like there's a certain level of fakeness that is acceptable in cosplay and in Instagram and in that world, and you just have to accept that is the case. So if it's a photo of like, if it was me and someone went, look, you're blinking in this photo, but look, I could change it over on my phone. Do you want this photo instead? I'm gonna want the photo where I'm not blinking, and I don't care if that's a lie to the public that I was blinking in the other photo.
Yeah.
If they're photoshopping my figure to look different, then that's a different story.
Mm.
But there's a level of fakeness that I think is allowed and is okay, and if it makes the photographer's life easier, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but yeah, what do you think, James?
Yeah, I want my photo to look the best it possibly can be without it being an absolute rejig or like not what I want it to be. You know, when people make people like too skinny or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it was like some mistakes happen, like people blink or something walks into shot or like a bit of rubbish floats in. So the ability to get rid of that. So again, it's just this fine line, and I think that's what we're negotiating right now, like the fine line of what's acceptable, what's not, from like a personal aesthetic point of view, and then also from like a business point of view of like whose content's whose anymore.
Yeah, I just feel like when cave people were around and they were knocking up drawings on walls, if they had messed up that wall, they'd go, "Yeah, man, that's a bit crap. We should probably do that again," and they'd do it again. And I just kind of feel that's kind of the same thing, but they just don't have the tools to do that, so they would just do it again. But that's what advancing is that we now have the tools to do that. So why wouldn't we utilize them?
Mm. No, like I said, I think this is definitely a longer conversation. I probably will put onto the main podcast. But I think I was more talking about like the selfie shot of photos that people take at Comic-Con. That you can literally, if I take a selfie now at Comic-Con, I can now pick with my new phone, like literally the best shots of each of us into one amalgamated photo, post it, and I don't know if I've created a bit of a weird dysmorphia about how my life is, because I will fully admit that my life is shit at the moment. But I've accepted it, and I'm trying to make improvements to it. But I don't like the idea of, like, in a sense, falsifying that my life is great. There is, like you said, there is a certain level that we all accept. But now there's in a sense, another layer that I can put on top of that, which makes my life great. But in a sense, it's not. So it's just, I just find yeah, go on.
But that's your decision to make. Like, if you want to go on social media and make it out like your life is great, then that's your decision. Like, no one is forcing people to take selfies and post one that's okay, just so that people can see that their life isn't perfect. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Like, if
yeah.
you want to post on social media that your life is crap, you will. But most of the time, people won't.
No, exactly. And again, but you're also creating this dysmorphia to social media that everyone's looking at your life, going, "Oh, look at Eddie's life. It's fantastic. It's great. I wish my life was like that." Type of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
seems.
That's
Yeah.
nothing new. Like,
Oh no,
AI
not yeah.
AI has not made that new.
No, but I think the accessibility to make that makes it easier, which then I think amplifies the dysmorphia. Anyway, like I said, I think this is such a larger, bigger question about the use of generative AI. Like I said, I did one episode about it. Let's see if I can now self-plug this. When did I do this? Because I think I called it. Should we be worried about? Should we be worried about AI? This was 10 episodes ago ish, 161. So go listen to that one. I had. Who did I have? I had Kevin and Alex of Natashka Cosplay. So listen to that podcast. That was a really good discussion. Like I said, I might have to re-listen to that one so I avoid asking the same questions. But yeah,
Is Kevin the photographer dude?
Yes.
Yes, he
Kevin
is
Pack.
wonderful. Man, I was just trying to find his Instagram when you were talking about photographers, and I couldn't find it. Because when I last saw him, you weren't at Comic-Con. I think you were in New York or something. You were on holiday or working something, and I saw him, and he was like, "Oh yeah. I guess I'm just here for Eddie now." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, Miss Eddie." I was like, "Oh, Miss Eddie," and we took some photos, and he was really nice. Anyway, that's that.
Yeah, I saw Kevin at SecretCon.
Oh yes. Yes, he did tell me. I knew he was going to SecretCon. Yes. Okay, let's flip it on its head. Like I said, let's talk about good things we could say to like a photographer or a cosplayer. And I generally just think, like there's a lot of things we were saying in that podcast about how, you know, when you talk to a photographer, you know, if you're going to work with them, just do it. But I think there's loads of times I've said that, and I've said, "Oh, I'll work with you. I love to work with you," and yet in my mind, it's like back of my mind, like either I said that to, or it's back of my mind, it's like, but you might be quite busy. It's like, I don't know if you remember me as well. It's like, oh, I'm the loud Asian one. I should probably change my cosplay handle name to. Well, stupid story. I did say if I was going to change my cosplay handle name, it was going to be that Asian photographer. So, but I might change it to that loud Asian.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I just think. But I was going to say, like, I don't know if I would take offense if I probably should have mentioned the main part. If someone said, "Oh, I'd love to work with you," and they don't, it's like I think it used to, but not anymore. I just think that they might be busy, or like, do you know what? It's a polite way of saying it because I know I've said it in the past. I'd love to work with you, but I gotta go, and just gone right, delete from brain.
Sometimes, like I said, people can get in their head a bit, like actually be nervous about actually asking properly. Like they might say, "Oh, I'd love to work with you someday," and then when it comes then to con time of actually booking things, they sometimes get in their head and they kind of think, like you said, like, I don't know if they remember me. Like, I don't know if they actually want to work with me though. Like, and they get worried about actually saying, "Can we actually work together? Can we actually book something?" Because they get worried that the person might not really want to work with them or something.
Yeah,
and they can get a bit in their head sometimes. That could be a reason why maybe they never actually go back to it.
I think if you've had the talk going, "Oh my god, yeah, I'd love to work with you too. This is when my bookings go live, or this is how I'm doing con. Like, I'd love to see you," and then they don't. Like, there's clearly that, you know, they do want to work with you as well, but then just still, I don't know. It's just
people are just dumb.
Sometimes. Yeah. Unless I actively say no, I'm not interested. Just assume I'm interested.
Yeah. I think oh god, do I say
don't
this?
take that out of context.
No, just
I remember one con I put all my times up and I was like, choose what time works for you, and it was like between 10 and 4, and the first person was like, "Oh, I want to shoot at like 9 a.m. and I'm like, "Please reread."
Like, well, you can't.
Like, good for you. I will be in bed. Just read it.
There are people who will do that as well.
Oh, 100%.
Also, no way they'll be ready at 9 o'clock.
No,
No.
I'm going to
no.
do that. Next time you put your, like, form up, I'm going to message you and be like, Eddie, I know that your last slot is at 5:30, but I want to shoot at 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay?
Oh my god. I've had
can
people
get
do that.
fucked.
I've had people do that where I'm saying I'm not doing night shoots because I don't shoot at night because it's fucking dark and I don't use lights. And they're like, oh, I really want to shoot with you. Like, how's 9 p.m? It'd look really cool. And I'm like, well, part of I don't shoot at night. Do you not understand?
You're like, you say it will look really cool, it will just be black.
Yep.
It will be nothing. It'll be a nothing picture.
It'll be nothing but grain.
Honestly, yeah, the night shoots are they're painful. Anyway, so we was meant to say nice things to photographers.
What do you want them to say to you, Eddie? What sweet nothings do you want them to whisper in your ear?
I think it's really weird because I think with my how my brain is wired, I think if anyone says nice things about me, the first thing that pops into my head is, what's your agenda? What do you want?
Why are you being nice to me? What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want? So I'm always suspicious like that. So I think if you are just saying nice things and just leave it at that, my brain will just go, oh, I was lied. My brain lied to me. Clearly, I'm in the wrong here. I'm the asshole. So prove to me you're not out to get me. And then in the next conversation, like, oh, I see now. This was a trap. Do this to do it. Right, gotcha. So yeah, that at least do that first. Be nice first. Oh, I thought I lost that.
No, you're good.
I'm just sat here like, I'm never nice to Eddie.
Thanks.
Yeah, I would admit, like, due to upbringings and years of bullying as a child, there is something where some people say something nice and I just go, well, they're lying to you.
Mm.
So there is a very hard sort of, people go like, oh, I really love it. I'm like, do you though?
My thing, no, I am nice to Eddie. I am nice to you.
Yeah, you are.
I am. I also, my thing is though, that is like, the more like friends with someone I am, the more I will bully them.
Oh yeah, it's a sign of love.
So I do like to bully Eddie as well.
Yeah. Has anyone ever come on the podcast and not bullied Eddie? That's the one I want to know.
No, don't. I don't want PTSD out of this, all right? God damn it, people! God damn it! Oh God, no. What was I say? So, okay, what if someone was trying to get in your good books, Sib? How would you want people to say nice things?
I would actually love for people to comment on more of the technical side. Like, I love your exposure. I love the use of light.
Pardon,
here.
what?
What?
Your exposure.
Wait. Like, I love the framing. I love, the location, like things like that.
Yeah.
Because the trouble being a TOG, people, for cosplay, people see the cosplayer first. And, you get those people who message you going, oh my God, you look great. And I'm like, I'm the photographer, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Like, one thing I would say to that is most people who aren't photographers don't
know how to.
Don't actually really understand the technical side of it. So,
just the lighting is really pretty.
Oh, the lighting's really nice there and stuff. But like I said, like, generally speaking, like the exposure and things like that, people wouldn't. It's not something, or being like, oh, I really love like the depth of field. Like people who aren't photographers aren't gonna think that technically.
Yeah.
But that's not personal. That's just because they don't understand it and they don't know it.
Yeah, fair comment, absolute fair comment. And like I said, it's just nice for someone to go. At least they can just say, "This is what I'm saying." Say something nice with no agenda behind at the same time, and I think that's what I was coming out with.
Yeah, I think it also comes from an issue that photographers don't tend to compliment each other on their work.
Oh, I am constantly like trying to correct people by saying, "Oh no, that's something else." When people come up to me and go, "Oh, can I come in and take a photo?" Yeah, but don't ask me. Ask that person. I can stop, but you still need to get the permission of that person. That's what I was thinking. That was my brain was going.
Oh, right, no.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking like on Instagram, like I can't remember like months ago. It must have been. I was like, oh, I love the color grading on this.
I'm sure I do say I like this photo on some of your photos. And then the genuine ones, I don't want to sound like the asshole, but the ones I do comment, I genuinely do like them. It's not because I'm just doing it, oh, that's a Sid photo, I'll just say something. It's like, hopefully you realise I'm not doing it for all your photos. And yeah, I'm just saying, oh, these are nice photos, that's it.
Yeah, I just think
I
apart from
do
you,
try and make sure that I look. If I see a picture on Instagram and I'm going to comment on it, I try and look to see if it's the cosplayer or the photographer that has posted it. Because if it's the cosplayer that's posted it, then I'll comment like, "Oh my god, you look amazing," kind of thing, and it'll be obviously directed at them. Whereas if it's the photographer, I'll be like, "Oh, this shot is incredible," and it's not about the cosplayer.
What
It's
if
about,
it's
I do try to kind of, because I don't want to, like I said, comment on a photographer's one saying, "Oh my god, you look amazing, this cosplay is so good," and the photographer's like, "Thanks." Like that's nothing to do with them, kind of thing. I do try and make sure that I'm looking at who's posted this, and so what kind,
what do you do with
what should my compliment be directed at here, kind of thing,
Yeah, what do you do with collaboration posts?
That's tricky.
Because I've had a few collaborations recently, and like I'll say it's with Dame Deadly, and
I love her.
she's absolutely great. We smashed some Halloween content, absolutely love them, and they've posted them and collaborated me in on it. I'm like, yes, let's get that, get the SEO, and every comment is like, "You look amazing." I'm like,
Oh,
sad. And there's like 100 comments, and none of them are about the photography.
no, exactly. And
I'm
this
just like, ugh.
and again, I think we said this on the Room 101 podcast. One of these podcasts I've written. It's like, I will only reply when I see it said, "Oh, great photo." I will then reply back saying, "Thank you very much for that comment."
Yeah.
I will just make a point that if you mention anything about the photo that's being good, I will comment back.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's shit photo. I'm not going to comment back. That's your opinion. You're wrong, but that's your opinion.
I'm just gonna put wow ... and let you interpret it.
Yeah, but no, you're right. It's like I think you. Sorry, I say you, not you, Lele. You, Sib, me, and Lydia were about to do a podcast about who needs more. Does the photographer need the cosplay, or the cosplayer need a photographer? And we're going to do a podcast on that. We will do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll get my people to talk to your people. Okay. Actually, it'll be very interesting. Actually, very quickly, Lele, who do you think needs more? Is it a cosplayer that needs a photographer, or the photographer needs the cosplayer? Very quickly, and we won't judge you, ish.
What, as in compliments, or
no,
just in general, like
in general work?
General work.
Yes.
Oh, I'm thinking. This is really difficult because I feel like it's actually pretty equal.
No, that's lies. Stop lying to me. Just because you know there's two photographers on this podcast. All right?
It does though, because of if a cosplayer wants to have really decent, like obviously you can take pictures on your phone, you can take photos on your phone, but they're not going to be to the level and quality of pictures with a photographer. If you want like proper, really quality, really nice pictures, you need to do them with a photographer. You need to like you said, phones are really good nowadays.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that standard, and you're not going to get those angles and that framing and all the other aspects that a photographer can do, as well as the edits and everything else. Like, you need that if you want those quality photos. But if a photographer is specializing in cosplay photography and that's their hobby and that's what they enjoy, without a cosplayer, they don't have anyone to photograph. Kind of thing, without the cosplayer, there's nothing there, kind of thing, unless they want to go and specialize in something else, unless they want to go and take pictures of something else completely different. If it's cosplay photography they're wanting to do, they need the cosplayer to be able to do that. And again, the skill and everything of the cosplayer is going to help. It is one of those things where the higher the skill level of the cosplayer and the higher the level of their cosplay, it is, that the picture is going to look better, kind of thing, with that kind of thing. It is one of those things where it all kind of goes hand in hand with each other. I do feel like you both need each other. That's why I kind of always see like cons and stuff is like an equal collaborative effort, because of you're both going there for the same reason. You're both going there because of as a photographer, you want to get pictures of the cool cosplayers. As a cosplayer, you want to get cool pictures of your own cosplay. And you're both, I always say, like, cosplayers spend months in advance prepping their cosplays for the con and working on it and stuff. And even on the day, you know, they're waking up like hours before the event, getting ready and stuff. And then obviously it's then roles reversed after the con, because then after the con, the cosplayers are like, oh, I've done that now. All my months of hard work is now done. But now it's the photographer's turn, because now the photographer's like, now I've got my months of hard work of editing from that. And they then spend months working on the edits and stuff afterwards, when the cosplayers can now kind of like chill and relax from it. Like it kind of goes hand in hand, like equally, with the amount of work they put in and how much they need each other.
Yeah, I mean that's a pussy's answer, but yeah, absolutely.
it's right. You can't dispute it, can you?
No, you can't.
I don't know. We'll, as I said, me, Sim, and Lydia we'll discuss this in a full length episode. But now, just want to get your view on that. That's quite interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we've done kind of. We're trying to figure out good things to say towards a photographer. What about from a cosplayer's point of view? What thing would you want to hear to compliment you as a cosplayer?
Oh, that's a good question.
Do you know what my favourite thing to say to a cosplayer is?
Go on then.
I love the energy you bring to this character.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, I like even just hearing it, even though
yeah,
it's
it's
not about
nice,
me,
isn't it?
I'm like, oh,
right? Doesn't have to be about anything they've made, the way they look, anything. It's just I love the energy you bring.
yeah.
You're welcome.
I love that. And like, this is the thing, like for me, kind of posing and expressions and stuff like that is a really like important part of the cosplay when you're taking pictures and stuff. Like the way you pose and your facial expressions and all that kind of stuff, and kind of the way you carry yourself in the pictures is really important for me. So like if somebody says something like that, then I'm like, I feel like I'm doing a good job at that. You know, I feel like I'm actually bringing this character to life, kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the way that I want to. So yeah, that's nice. I like that.
It works.
Yeah,
Works for
say
any
that to
situation.
me.
Okay. When I meet you, I'm gonna like take you by the hand, look you straight in the eyes, like, I love the energy
yeah.
you bring to this.
Yeah, do it.
You'll know it's Lele because she'll be unscrewing her boobs to put her
yeah. And following Eddie around going, wah!
Oh my god, I really hope I see this.
With like my boobs over my shoulders.
Yeah,
Just like, yeah.
Like a pair of roller skates.
Yeah.
We have to get a TikTok video of you just coming up to me going, wah!
Oh my god.
Okay, all right. If I came up to you, if you didn't know me, if I came up to you and go, oh my god, I love your cosplay, you look amazing, can I take your photo? That's nice
great.
compliment. Yeah,
I love that.
You're not thinking, oh my god, hidden agenda type of thing. Like
No.
Okay, good, right. That's
If you added, can I take a photo of my personal collection, then there's red flags.
do I not declare that?
Then? No. You just keep that hidden.
I'll keep
But what I do love,
okay,
if random people come up, if they're clearly a photographer, you know, they've got their big photography camera. You know, it's different if it's someone that's just walking around the con. Maybe they got the kids with them or something, and they've got their, you know, and they just say, "Oh, can I get a picture?" and they get their phone out. Yeah. That's different. If it's clearly a photographer and they've got their camera and all that kind of stuff, you know, and they come over and they say, "Oh, I really love this. Can I get a picture?" You know, you look really amazing, and I'm like, "Oh yeah." I love it when they then say like, "Oh, you know, can I get your Instagram so that I can send you the photo?" Or, "Oh, here is, you know, would you like my Instagram information so I can send the photos to you?" Or maybe they've even got a card or something they can give you, or they do that. Sometimes they just kind of go, "Okay, thanks," and then walk off, and you're like,
"You're like, I'm never seeing this ever again."
You're like, "Okay."
Oh, what was it? One of my friends said earlier. It was oh god, it was someone turned around to them and was like, "I love your Princess Peach. I've got loads of photos of Princess Peach." It was like, "Meh." They're like, yeah, no, I'm going to decline that photo opportunity, thanks.
You're okay. I'm just going to walk the other way. Do not follow me.
Yeah.
If you follow me, there's security. I'm going to go towards that person. That is just, yeah. Oh, no. Just, yeah. I'm trying to think if I had it as a... I've told you this I'm sure I've mentioned this many times. People, one, have thought I was a female photographer for some strange reason. Two, there are some, obviously, I'm sorry to generalise all men like this, but it's going to be a creepy man. they've dropped me a message to say, "Oh my god, you look so great in those photos. Can I have some private photo?" Like,
I hate that so much.
and
You're like,
even
bruh.
as a man, as a male gender, I'm like going, "Oh god, why is my gender so fucking disgusting?" Just like, oh Jesus.
You're sat there like, not all men, but definitely this fucking guy.
Yeah,
But this one in particular.
This one here, just like, just like, no, just get fucked, just go away, leave me alone. Just like,
Do you know what I hate? Sorry, I just remembered. Is the people that like message you going, "I'm an editor. Do you need an editor?" And you're like, "Fuck off! Get off my DMs." Like,
yeah, I've had that. No, it's the way they say it this way. So, love your photos, great and all of that. If you need an editor, like, hang on, you've just complimented how good my editing skill is, and yet you're forcing yourself upon me to use your services. If they said your photos are shit, would you like an editor? I'd still be offended, but at least you go, but maybe they can offer something more.
At least they're honest.
Yeah. It's like going to the chef of a restaurant, go, love that meal, brilliant. Only if you just did this and did that and did this, I'm like, fuck off.
Like, that was a great meal, but do you need a new chef?
That was great. However,
just it's that like that backhanded comment. It's so fucking. Oh Jesus Christ! I'm trying to think what other compliments you want to be told. It's like, do you want people to start? Do you think as a cosplayer, people like to be told like specific things about the cosplay? It's like, oh, I love this handmade jewel that you've put onto your cosplay, or this prop or something like that. Is that?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, obviously some people make their stuff and some people don't. So I always like, sometimes if somebody's like, oh, like, I love this part, did you make it, kind of thing, and you're like, actually no, I bought it. So long as they're not, because sometimes it tends to come more, to be honest, from non-cosplayers. Sometimes they sort of say, oh, that's, that looks really awesome, I wish I could make stuff like that, like, that must take you ages to make, and you're like, actually I bought this cosplay, and they kind of go, oh. And you're like, oh, I guess my cosplay's shit now that you think that now you realise I bought it, you know.
Oh yeah, that must. Yeah, so once they find out it's either bought or commissioned, all that, and you can see their facial expression change. Is that offensive to you?
It kind of is, yeah, because of it's like for me, like I said, I do other, like I said, I like cut and style my own wigs and things like that, which sometimes take fucking ages depending on the wig. And I've made my own props and things like that, and I do like my own makeup and stuff. And like I said, for me, it's also about the posing and the expressions, and like, you know, sometimes I will sit and like go through loads of pictures of the character and like, you know, look at different poses they do and if they have different signature things, and, you know, does this character smile a lot? Do they do this a lot? You know, like, to try and make sure that I've got this character down, kind of thing. Like, for me, that's part of it as well. And there's a lot of different aspects to it. Like, sewing is just one part of it that some people do, and some people make their own costumes, but they can't style a wig to save their lives, kind of thing. You know, everybody has their different things that they do, but people tend to focus on just the sewing and the making the costume part, I find. And especially if they're like not a cosplayer, they sometimes they just assume if you cosplay it's because you like making the costumes, and then when they find out that you don't, it's almost like they don't understand why you do it then if you're not making it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, and you're like, well, because I'm a nerd, just leave me alone. Like, but yeah, no, that kind of, and I guess like people who make it can get it the other way as well. Like, if you've made all of your cosplay and somebody comes up to you and says, oh, where did you buy this? They might actually find that offensive because they're a bit like, well, actually I made it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but then again, maybe they'll take it as a compliment because if it looks so good that it looks professional, like it looks like a professional thing that, you know, maybe you could buy. It doesn't, you know, like they could take it that way because it depends on how you view things.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and that's why sometimes I think it is, as much as we've been moaning about what not to say and all that, sometimes there are some things that can be 50-50. You know, like I said on the main podcast, like asking a photographer, can you squeeze me in? I think that's somewhat okay, cheekily asked. Like, you have to expect, you know, if you prepare yourself to accept the answer, no, I don't have time. That's, you know, that's fine. But at the same token, like, it's quite interesting hearing Sib says, no, don't ask me that. And I'm like, oh, but I kind of still want to be asked just in case, because I might have a spare moment, and there might be a cosplay. I go, oh my god, I really wanted to shoot this cosplay, a version by anyone. Let's do it now. And then Tom's like, oh, I really want to, but I haven't got the time, damn it. And then try to arrange something during my my downtime. Oh no, I should be having lunch. But yes, it's quite interesting. This has been a really interesting talk. I don't know if I should do it again with other people next, if I ever bring this back. It's like, do you think do you think you would do this, Sib, on your podcast?
Ooh, yeah, it could be an interesting topic. I'd love to hear what other people find rude or a compliment. Because obviously not everyone's the same. And if people go, oh, your camera takes good photos, they might be like, ooh, thank you. I mean, it's very expensive and I poured a lot of money into it. You fucking should take a good picture.
Yeah. Like when I did Merida, I had multiple people ask me oh my god, your bow is absolutely amazing. Where did you get it? And I was like, oh, I made it. And they were like, oh my god, you made it? Like that's, and I saw it as a compliment because I was like, they think like it, to me that said like that it looks like professional kind of thing. Like it doesn't look like something made on Blue Peter or something.
And here's one I made earlier.
Like it's one of those things where sometimes you can tell someone's made something. It looks handmade. And they actually thought that I bought it somewhere. So in my head, I'm like, well, they actually think this is like it seems more professional kind of thing. And then they were shocked when they found out that I'd made it kind of thing. And they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you made that. How did you make that kind of thing? Yeah. I saw that as a compliment, but somebody else might take offense to it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, which is, which is absolutely fair. And I wish we could talk about this. It sounds like I do need to bring this back because there are other people who will say other things, which they will say, "Oh no, this is fine. That's it's okay. No, don't do that." And like, I think I will bring this back actually. So on that note, I'm going to end this podcast extra and find other people to talk to and question my life about things I should or shouldn't say to people. So yes, or just worry that Lele coming up to me and going, "Wah!"
She does.
And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and they're going to say goodbye. So bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.